Maybe I'll wet my blade on you before I kill Balthier.
That's enough, backgammon.
Let's take a look at Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age, released for the PS4, PC, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch between 2017 and 2019. Here, we're looking at the Switch version. The Zodiac Age is a re-release of the original Final Fantasy XII for the PS2 from 2006, and it's actually based on the version called the International Zodiac Job System, which was only released in Japan. This means that apart from updated graphics, the game also features a more flexible job system than the original, allowing you to assign different jobs to each character and develop them along any path you see fit.
Now's not the time.
I have to admit that I did not play this game back when it first came out. The combination of a battle system that looks like an MMO and the player-controlled camera that made the game feel very different from its predecessors simply made me skip this one. So I'm thrilled to have a new opportunity to explore this game. The graphics have definitely undergone a vast improvement. In this age of PS3 games constantly being remade for the PS4, it's easy to forget that Final Fantasy XII was originally a PS2 game, and that the graphics of its time are pretty hard to compare to today's standards. In spite of that, the updated graphics look pretty decent, as they make the game look just the way I remember it. Like the original, the game looks quite good and quite horrible at the same time, somewhat like Twilight Princess for the Wii. Another new feature is the ability to speed up the gameplay with the press of a shoulder button. Although it might ruin the immersion for some, it is convenient when fighting pushover enemies or backtracking. It also makes grinding a breeze if you're into that sort of thing. And then the battles. The way the characters walk casually around the enemies while waiting for their action bar to fill up looks exactly like something out of an MMO, which is kind of strange for a single-player game. But then again, perhaps it isn't all that different from the older Final Fantasy games with their active time combat. It just looks very different. But once you get into it, it isn't bad at all. While you can actively give orders to all party members at all times, it's the automated gambit system that makes it fun. Using gambits, you can program each of your characters to react to different situations, such as, if you see an enemy weak to air, use Eroga. If an ally is petrified, use Stona, and so forth. It's more fun than it sounds, but it also means that many battles will just have you looking at your characters fighting, only stepping in if something goes horribly wrong. It's strange, but it works. Finally, the story. Being a main entry in the Final Fantasy series, this game naturally has a big focus on story and characters. Compared to most of the earlier games, the story is quite serious in its tone, and without many over-the-top elements.
You're a babbling fool!
A trial for a Shelia Banargin Dalmasca!
All the typical Final Fantasy trademarks such as chocobos, moogles, Malboros, and familiar spells are all there to spice it up, but the overall feel of the game is more down to earth. An often heard critique of the game is that the main character, Vaan, has close to no impact on the story whatsoever, and after playing for 30 hours, I must agree that I have no idea why he's in the game at all. Ash, Basch, and Balthier, the guy with the white shirt, all have their issues and motivations, but the immature Vaan and his friend Penelo are just tagging along for some reason. I have no idea what the point is. It's actually rather fascinating. But then again, just because Vaan is the guy you start out with, doesn't necessarily make him the main character, and you can just take him off the team if you don't like him.
How old were you again?
Nice fun.
Before we end, some words of warning. Games from 2006 were more demanding than those of today, and the game will not always tell you exactly where you need to go to proceed with the story. Also, if you get stuck at some mechanism or door that just won't open, it's a good idea to pay close attention to any hints and inscriptions. Perhaps the thing you need is already in your inventory, or skill menu. Let's just say that I was taken quite off guard. So there you have it, without a doubt a game that is still worth playing today. Oh, I didn't even get to talk about the license system. Well, maybe next time.
Surprisingly rude.
Try to grow up, please.